morning all. Happy Vlogmas painting number 2 coming at you. Today I thought I would do Art Nouveau style, and I'll try to remember to put a couple pictures in here of kind of some Art Nouveau paintings, not kind of, but some Art Nouveau paintings that I'm perhaps gathering some color inspiration from. But first, just in case you're new around here, here's a quick introduction. Hi there, I'm Stacy, the encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. Encaustic literally means to burn in. So I paint with beeswax and a torch, and because it's mixed media, pretty much anything else I can get my hands on. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Consider subscribing and joining this artsy community. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, which helps me get introduced to more like-minded artsy folks like yourself. Alright, so I'm going to try to find some kind of like sagey green colors, definitely a golden yellow, and then I'm debating on either like a peacock blue color perhaps, or maybe a purple color, or maybe a pink color. Not completely sure what colors, but definitely going to look for a sage green and a golden yellow, because those two colors definitely seem to be very popular in the Art Nouveau painting style. So I'm going to get some colors picked out first and yeah, go from there. Alright, I decided to start with just 3 colors. These 3 colors here. Hopefully you can kind of see those in the camera. And I decided to start with just 3 colors because this is so small, right? This is a 4x4 square. And I'm afraid if I add too many more colors in, they'll just make mud and just be really not what I'm going for. And so I'm kind of going for like a muddled background, if you will, which I know isn't maybe perhaps completely Art Nouveau style, but again, because it's such a small square, I thought, and I wanted to add more colors, and I thought that that would be a good way to do that. So let me get the camera here closer and I'll show you these colors that I'm using exactly. Okay, this is encausticose, and this is Italian golden ochre. So definitely a golden kind of yellow color. This is also encausticose, called red earth pale. Kind of a warm pink, little bit has like a orange hue to it as well, or red hue, I guess. So that's that one. And then this green is just a color, a random color, no idea what makes it up, from my drip tray. So this I can't recreate, or it's not a store-bought paint, but I thought it would be a good kind of sagey green color, and I thought the 3 kind of went well together. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about with my drip tray or random colors, basically any wax that drips into this comes down into the drip tray. And then I eventually take and kind of empty this out and melt it down into this tin to make a, random color. And that's where this came from, this random green color, but it's kind of pretty green. Also, just in case you have no idea what I'm doing here, I decided, if you missed the previous video explaining my plans for the month of December, I'm trying to come out with 2 videos a week, and I am doing, I think 9 or 10 different art styles or art movements throughout the month of December. So if you're not unsure of what's going on here, that's what's happening. And they are going to be tree/nature themed as well. So anyways, and I'll show you, I did a quick kind of sketch of what I kind of have in the back of my head for this painting. We'll see if it actually works out. So I'll show you that next. Okay, this is the tree style I am going with here, and I think I'll probably refine it a bit more. And it's just on a piece of random paper, but at any rate, that's kind of the style. And so I want the tree to pop out more than anything else, but I do want to bring in some of those Art Nouveau colors into this background. So we'll see how it goes here. I thought I would briefly describe Art Nouveau to you in case you have not heard of it before or are slightly unfamiliar with it while I paint this background. Art Nouveau was popular between 1890s and 1910s, not just in Europe, but also in the United States. Art Nouveau stemmed from the desire to move away from the rapid industrialization of the time. Nature was the primary source of inspiration for artists seeking to break away from past styles. Art Nouveau's flowing lines may symbolize the freedom artists were searching for during this time. This style is characterized by its ornamental approach and use of long organic lines and curves. Art Nouveau artists were inspired by plant forms and nature, and they often took organic subjects and abstracted them into flowing motifs. Artists also drew upon elements of Japanese art, which flooded Western markets mainly in the form of prints after trading rights were established with Japan in the 1860s. The Art Nouveau style dominated not just the field of arts, but also interior design, architecture, jewelry, and advertisements. As a movement, it sought to reform art and break away from classical traditions by merging the fine arts and the decorative arts. This art style is also recognized for its muted colors of mostly using olive or sage green, mustard, and deep reds. Antonio Gaudí, Als van Mucha, and Gustav Klimt are just some of the renowned artists who worked in this style. And now that you know a little bit more about the Art Nouveau movement and style, I'll let you sit back, enjoy the music, and I'll pick you back up when I'm done with this painting. right, there you go. One more finished little mini art style, art movement painting. All right, and once again, I'm just going to get the studio cleaned up a bit, clean up the griddle, and call it for the day here in the studio. And I don't know, we'll see what we get up to later on. Maybe I'll pick you back up. All right, and just like that, the studio is all cleaned up. And while it is chilly here, fall is somewhat still hanging on, as you can see by these turkeys here. And these turkeys and this kind of somewhat cooler fall-like weather has inspired me to create a fall dish for dinner. I am making and roasting some butternut squash, and then I'm going to be making some butternut squash soup, all while listening to this book. It's an amazing book. I cannot recommend it enough. Highly recommend it. However, it is a bit graphic, if you will, so take that with a grain of salt, maybe perhaps read into it a little bit before you just go out and get the book. Also making some garlic bread with this, and this is where I'm going to leave you for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Thank you so much for coming along. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.